Oh man, so Bitcoin is marginally up today in the green, allowing Fantom to rise 4% today, as high as $1.34, back to the bottom of the wedge, which I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the technical levels. I'm going to show you some key levels in the charts. We've also hit a major milestone on Fantom. In just 78 days of this year, we've hit 1 million new unique addresses on the Fantom layer 1 blockchain. Huge achievement. We're going to dive into that a little bit more. We're going to look at the key levels in the Fantom chart and the Bitcoin chart, because obviously we're looking at Bitcoin to lead the market. If you appreciate this blend between technicals and fundamentals, make sure you're hitting up that like button and subscribing. Also, don't forget NordVPN are helping with this channel, so don't forget to support NordVPN. Links in the description. Stay safe in crypto. You're going to get yourself set up on a VPN for 70% off of 2-year plans. It works out like $2 or $3 a month. Absolute no-brainer to make sure nobody is able to track down crypto. Let's get straight into the charts, guys, because what we're seeing here is Bitcoin is currently at the time of recording sitting just under 42,000. But we had a good move here intraday, trying, let's go over to the hourly, makes it a little bit more clearer, trying to run up to the peak, which we mentioned from the previous time we got rejected around. This date would have been about the 9th of March, where we got rejected at 42,500. This is an important level up here at 42,500, and you can see we got rejected there yesterday. We're getting rejected there right now as we speak here also. So this is an important level for us. Bitcoin needs to go and try break that level again and get above it. If it can do so, then on our 4-hourly chart, what then that allows us to do is break above 42.5. Potentially, if we need to, get a retest and then work our way to the top, because the real battle is at 44.5. You've heard me say this a few times. We need to break this level, which we've struggled at 3 or 4 times. But when we do, then can set ourselves our price target from the technical perspective for breaking out of this wedge, which, by the way, 2/3 of the time breaks out to the upside, sitting at 52,800 with your technical target to the upside. Now, downside risk we have to look at as well. And downside risk, because remember, before the interest rate decision, we were hovering precariously here. There was a risk we could have broken to the downside, and that would have taken you back to the 32, 33 range here on Bitcoin. But things are looking much better now since the interest rate decision. Markets are looking a bit more confident, a bit more buoyant, and now we've managed to break above 40 and stay above it. Important. As long as we can stay above 40, work our way beyond 42.5, then we can start looking at 44.5 and take this step by step, build our recovery back to 50,000 and beyond. Now, what does this mean for Fantom? Because Fantom is having a lovely day today as well. You can see here on the 4-hourly chart, it just literally a couple of days ago, we were sitting at $1.03 at peak FUD. Andre Cronje drama broke us down from our wedge, broke us down, and a big movement to the downside all the way to $1.03. And that is when I was giving you guys the non-financial advice to say, look, these are great prices to be buying Fantom at. This was then lower than the areas where we were reaching when Bitcoin was in lows, right? When Bitcoin ran down to 32, Fantom wicked to 115. This time, Fantom didn't fall because the market was falling. Well, it fell because of the extra FUD from the Crony issue. The 103 was clearly a nice dip buy, and you can see that's being proven out now as Fantom built its way through 116, back above 126, and is now sitting at 128. Next level, got to get through to 147. 147 is going to be important. It won't be easy to get to there, and then it needs to get to 165. We really need to see those levels start to unfold, get to this level, then get back above. If you remember this level here at the top of the wedge at 208, that's our comfort level. If you remember when we going back, plenty of times we love to congregate around 208. So I want to see Fantom get there. That is a comfort level for us there on Fantom. The sooner we can get there, the better on Fantom. So these are all great opportunities still for me to be nibbling. Nothing extra, just a little bit nibbling. Not as much as I was doing at 103, 104, but still nonetheless a nice time to be picking some up. Okay, so that's what we're seeing on Fantom. Now, what are we seeing in the wider markets? Well, the markets are still looking pretty buoyant, right? We've got the futures here. 1% up on the Dow on the futures. Obviously, it's a Saturday here. We've got volume lows. We have to look at the futures. S&P up almost 1.5%, like 2% and 2.3% on the Nasdaq. This is really impressive, okay? And remember, we've just come off the biggest week on the Dow and stocks since 2020, okay? So it's massively risk on at the moment, and I think the next few months could set us up for a good move to the upside on stocks, on high growth stocks, and therefore that could be really good for Bitcoin And dare we say it, altcoins as well. So definitely things are looking better. We've seen the interest rate hike. We understand that inflation is, there's a plan of action towards addressing inflation. We know we're going to get our 0.25% hike 6 times this year. We know that Russia, Ukraine are starting to have some dialogues, right? We're starting to see a few, dare I say, green shoots of what it is each side are expecting. This is good, right? This is good that they're talking about a potential ceasefire, and we know what the demands of each side are. That helps. This is good for the markets, and investors will start to feel comfortable. Remember, investors don't mind good news and bad news. They just care about uncertainty. They hate uncertainty. They want to know what's going on so they can plan accordingly. Let's look at the fear and greed index. The fear and greed index is sitting at 28. Okay, so we're still fearful, not as bad as yesterday, sitting at 25. And as Bitcoin starts to move to the upside, naturally we'll see us start to get to neutral, and then eventually we'll get to the greed side of things where everybody's talking about Bitcoin again, FOMOing in, and Bitcoin will work its way to new highs. That's what we're all waiting for. But a few things to note, because sometimes we can start forgetting what is the, why are we investing in Fantom? Why is it we continue to have belief in such a project? And you look at this, and this was ultimately the first metric which set me on the path to study Fantom a little bit more. If you've not watched my video, was labeled the most important Fantom video you've seen, go watch that. I'll link that card up here. It's a very different video. It's not like these videos. I almost do like a live mathematical model with you guys to show you how undervalued Fantom is versus many other layer 1 blockchains. Okay, so really important you go watch that. But this graph by Fantomians is nice. Shout out to them. This is a nice graph and a nice visual representation. Say, look, Fantom is sitting at 0.5 multiple of its TVL as its market cap. Okay, so its market cap is 0.5 its TVL. But then to perspective, Harmony 1 is trading at 1.8, Terra's at 1.8. Forget that. Cello 3.2 on Ethereum, right? Kronos 3.3, Solana 4.2, Binance Chain 5.5, Polkadot massive 15. So we're not saying we want these. We're just saying give us some parity here, right? Just give us 1.8, and that's another 3x just there on Fantom. And Fantom's TVL is continuing to remain strong, continue to grow, and the adoption continues to be strong. This amazing tweet thread by Crypto Clay, shout out to you, Crypto Clay, adding perspective to today's wallet milestone. Since January 1st, let's just go back there to Crypto Clay. Since January the 1st, 2022, Fantom has seen 1 million new wallets. That's just 78 days into the year. In all of 2021, Fantom added 1.479 million new wallets. So in 78 days of 2022, we're 67% of the way to matching all of 2021 growths. Just 2.5 months, guys. This is impressive. He goes on to say, if we keep this current pace on Fantom, 12.5k new wallets per day, we will see 4.56 million new wallets on the Fantom network. That's a 200% rate versus 2021 year-on-year numbers. Amazing. And this is what we know about Fantom, guys. We don't need reassurance on this. This is where Fantom is really strong. Fantom is really strong at getting people to come into the ecosystem, use its DeFi platforms, because they're the best at DeFi. We know that. They're using all of these platforms here. If we head over to DeFi Llama, give it a good refresh. And if we see Fantom here continues to stay strong here, we've got 6.77 billion in total value locked. If we click into that to drill down, you can see people are actively coming in. They're using SolidSwap, they're using SpookySwap, they're using Curve, they're using Guys Finance, they're using Scream and SolidX and Beefy Finance and Beethoven and SpiritSwap. They're coming and using these platforms, and when they do, they're staying. Why? Because the experience is so much better than other layer 1 blockchains. Ask anybody who's used DeFi on Fantom. Once they've used it, they literally don't want to go anywhere else. Once they use a SpookySwap AMM, which is this one here, Boo, once they've used that as a swap, they don't want to use another swap. They don't want to use Uniswap. They don't want to use any others. That's the reality of it. When you see the low gas fees, fast transaction fees, good block finality, people stay, and that's the key. Now we know what some of the weaknesses are for Fantom. Fantom needs to start working on its other platforms, right? They're really strong on DeFi. They've got to be better at gaming. We spoke about that before. You guys have seen me mention that before, and we urge the Fantom team to work on that. They seem aware of the issue, which is good, and hopefully they can drive more incentives for developers to build better NFT platforms, better gaming, do better in the other spaces, not just DeFi, right? They need to build in metaverse plays and other things like that as well. That would really give us scope to move this price point to the upside. Me, Fantom continues to be a very undervalued layer. And in a time and a place where layer 1 solutions is going to be the single race right now, when markets are booming, everybody's going to be flocking back to the layer 1 solutions. we're not in a mature enough market, in my opinion, where other smaller narratives can have sustained runs. The gold rush right now is solid layer one solutions. That's the focus, because all of this blockchain technology is great as long as we have solid layer one solutions. And Ethereum continues to prove that ETH 2.0 is still quite a bit away, right? So there's still a market for layer two solutions like Polygon, Matic, and also other good layer one solutions like your Solanas, like your Lunas, like your Avalanches, like your Fantom. So definitely layer one solutions continue to be hotly contested, and Fantom for me definitely a great addition to the portfolio for me. What I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to link up at the end of this video. I'm going to link up a video to you guys, which is the tokenomics breakdown for Fantom. If you haven't watched that video, I urge you to click the end card and go watch that video, because I explain if I think, personally, looking at the maths, looking at the numbers, it's realistic for Fantom to do 100x economics. So if you're looking into Fantom, you have some Fantom already, or had some for a while and still don't understand can it really 100x, you just happen to run into some Fantom, make sure you go watch that video. It really does break down my thinking around a coin and how it can potentially get to 100x, or if it's even possible. Because sometimes we go, oh, why couldn't this coin 100x, right? We're looking at the price and saying, oh, it's only $1. It could get to $100, right? Bitcoin's at 40,000. I explain exactly why that doesn't make sense, why we need to look at market cap, and I break all that down in that video. So make sure you go check that out. If you appreciate a blend between technicals and fundamentals, smash up the likes, make sure you subscribe, check out NordVPN, links in the description. Pinned comment is also the link to our free public Discord server. Make sure you head over into there, meet like-minded people, tag me with any questions you've got. As always, I'll see you in the next one.